I just realized my desk is very messy, and I'm sorry, Taran Killam. I need to clean up
Best
my workspace
dad,
for you.
But a good dad is going to be disorganized. There's only so many hours in the day. If you're making the lunches and you're doing pickup and drop off, you don't have time to stack the papers appropriately.
I'm sorry. There's like a tablet here. I don't even know what is happening.
Facing away from you too. You're like, not only do I not have any ideas, I don't even want to think about it. I want somebody else to handle my ideas.
High Potential premieres on next Tuesday, 10 Eastern on ABC. You and Caitlin Olsen.
She's the best. She is 100%. Even if you don't like me, tune in to watch her. It's a great show, and she is truly excellent on it and has been for years on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. She's got a high potential intellect. That's the title. And she's hired as a consultant for the LAPD to help them solve crimes because she can see the missing piece.
Fantastic. Taran Killam of the new show High Potential, premiering Tuesday, September 17th, 10 p.m. Eastern on ABC right here. And you can watch High Potential on Hulu as well right here on the Roku portal.
Hoodoo? You do. Hulu.
Ladies and gentlemen. Just let me ask you the first question.
Here we go.
And I think it's rhetorical.
Okay.
Whose house?
Oh my God! I just was. No. It's Ram's house.
There we go.
Yeah. It's Ram's house.
That's the answer I was looking for. It's a rhetorical question, right?
Listen, people still believe in us. It was a great game. I would say. I'm going to say it was the most exciting game of the first week of the NFL.
Yeah, I mean,
only overtime, right? Only overtime.
That's true.
Neck and neck. We didn't get our hands on it in overtime. Montgomery took full advantage of the huge Aaron Donald-shaped hole in my heart.
Yeah,
like that's what it was. They're like, oh wait, it's overtime.
Right, too. And
AD's not here.
And the first 4 quarters, they were able to get past that.
Stafford looked good. Stafford looked so good,
dude. When he's slinging it, there's really I know that this is a like hyperbole to say it, or it's an exaggeration, however one want to put it, but there's not anybody like him when he's slinging it like that,
Truly.
And I know that there's tons of great quarterbacks in this league, and Mahomes is one of them.
Yeah. No, for sure.
The no looks on third downs, and then he's just dotting.
Mahomes has that showmanship that, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like that, like razzmatazz magician flick it throw thing.
Yeah.
And Stafford's is such a steady, casual strength. And I mean, it does speak to like how important punctuation is, right? Because from every show that I am watching, they talk about that missed throw to Cooper Kupp right at the end there, where we probably would have been able to extend it, get the field goal, and win the game.
Right.
But like that was one of 3 errant and like barely errant. But that's the memory. But if you go back and watch that game, Stafford looked the best that I think I've seen him as a Ram outside of the Super Bowl that we won.
Right. He was great in that one.
Perfect.
For sure. And everything worked out. I mean, every button was being pushed, including, that 4th down call that McVay had with Cooper Kupp running it.
Yes.
And it was all working. And just this time around, I just wish that, I don't know, obviously get that last possession back in regulation.
Yeah.
So you never give it back
right
to Jared Goff to try and tie the game.
It's a little bit of an asterisk, right? In that, like, I don't want to take anything away from the Lions because they ran us over in overtime.
Puka didn't play with me?
But Puka was out. We didn't touch the ball. I love the Lions. I feel like they're our exchange family. They're like the foreign exchange family we stayed in, senior year of high school in France, and then they sent Stafford to us to live with us,
right.
And he stayed forever and got us a ring.
And they took their general manager from Les Snead's front office.
Exactly. I love Campbell. He's just like everybody's big teddy bear uncle. I'm very happy for the Lions. A lot of good friends are Lions fans. It wasn't like an outright loss, even though yes, it is a loss.
So I mean, not to go too deep football with you here, but we haven't had this conversation. We might as well with you, Taran Killam.
I'm the guy.
Because that's the second time you've mentioned that you didn't touch the football in overtime.
Yes.
I'm kind of wondering if the league should have the playoff overtime rules in the regular season, where both teams are mandated to touch it, even if you score a touchdown to start.
No.
It feels like a TV rule. It feels like, okay, we've gone overtime,
Well, the TV rule, the way that it's been described to me, is that if you do this in the regular season, you have to extend that final overtime period from 10 minutes to at least 15 minutes.
Right.
And then if that happens in a, say, 1 o'clock Eastern game,
yes,
then it bleeds into that second window of football.
Yeah.
And when that happens, everybody else that's showing a game in that second window of football can't take a commercial television break.
Right, understood.
And so it messes up a whole bunch of people.
Here's the compromise.
And then there's, the player safety aspect of playing, an extra 5
whatever.
minutes.
But I'm thinking about Tide with bleach.
Yes, there's that.
This is the compromise I would make.
Yes.
If the team that has first possession scores a touchdown in under 5 minutes, the other team gets a chance. Like you cap it at the time. And how much time of possession? No, Brockman.
Here's the thing. They changed the rule for the playoffs. Basically, by doing that, they told everyone who likes football that offense is more important. Okay, so football is a 3-phase sport. If you don't want to lose on the first possession in overtime, tell your defense to stop them, and then you get the ball back to win the game.
Dang. Except there's a 4th phase, which is the random chance of a coin toss.
There's that too. And
that's the rule.
Well,
so
you can change
offense, no defense, no special teams can strategize for a coin toss.
But we have already discussed this based on the other overtime rules that when this happened with the playoffs, right? Is that the opening coin toss? So many people win it and defer it because they want the ball to start the second half. They want to hopefully get the ball at the end of the first half, score, then score after halftime as well, and have 2 possessions. That's the Patriots won 6 championships mastering that pretty much.
Chris,
and so
that's
hold
the
on a
fix.
second. So but if you do
we
that,
talked about this before.
Then you're not only giving the ball to start. Whoever starts the game gets the ball first if there's an overtime.
Right.
So now you're actually adding strategy to the opening coin toss. Maybe more people will take the ball first to have that possibility in their back pocket.
Yes.
The other pushback here that I want to throw out, and then we can move on to your show and other fun things, is fellow Rams fan or Los Angeles sports fan Sean Mitchell of our program. He's a terrific producer and will be cutting up these videos digitally, expertly. He texted the group when this happened that the Lions scored first, Rams just lose.
Right.
That it's like losing a baseball game with a walk-off home run in the top of the 10th. There's no bottom of the 10th. Sorry, you should play better defense. Don't give up a home run. And then it's that unsatisfying.
Yeah.
And I heard that's not a bad analogy. It's like, okay, you go to extra innings.
Except
the
football
team that
and
gets
baseball aren't
that
the same. In baseball, the defense has the ball.
Oh, I'm aware of that. It's also, not a rectangle, it's a diamond. I mean, what else does that mean?
It means it's not the same, so you can't really equate them.
You're just pissed you lost is basically what it all comes down to.
Of course, I want them to win all the time. We looked so good. Losing Nakua is certainly unfortunate and scary, and I hope he recovers very quickly.
Yes.
If you follow the Rams social media, it's been my sneaky suspicion all offseason that they're posing their strategy as the return of Cooper Kupp anyway.
He was amazing, man.
He's just incredible. I miss Aaron so much. Aaron was my number 1, and we're gonna see how valuable he was throughout the season. And the organization did a good job of trying. Jared Verse getting his first sack and looks great.
The 2 Florida State guys look really good.
Yep. So. Yeah, I'm still very hopeful. Of course, I wish we won. But it was a great game.
We had Les Snead on during the summer, and he just threw out there that he would love to have Aaron Donald on the Eric Weddle plan. So if they make the playoffs,
we're all hoping it. I think
he's around here in LA.
Yeah, for sure. He comes and he's been at training camp a couple times too.
He looks like he'd let himself go, don't you think?
You're saying that because he's not in the room.
No, he's only got a 5.5 pack now. 5 3/4 pack.
He went down
5
from 8 to 7
pack.
1/4. Yeah. His abs used to go up to his traps.
He's just sitting there having a.
Well, his wife had posted a video on social media while they were watching the game. He looked very happy on the couch.
Yeah, he was passed out. He was sleeping.
I didn't see that.
But when you sleep is when you recover.
He was sleeping. Yeah, he looked very
Was he
happy.
asleep?
Yeah, he looked
Yeah,
very
he was
cozy on
passed
that
out.
couch.
Yeah, he was snoring during
very funny.
during the game.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't see this.
It's great.
recording him, and he's
Yeah.
like,
Snoring during the game.
Is he happy about retiring? And then he's
Yeah,
just passed out
He's
in the corner
tapped out.
of a sectional, beautiful sectional couch.
Beautiful, very lovely couch. Yeah. Looked very comfortable.
I got to see that. I missed that.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Okay, let's talk about High Potential, which is
Yes.
premiering next Tuesday.
Yes, sir.
What do we need to know about this?
High
Taran
Potential
Killam.
stars Caitlin Olsen,
Yes.
who has a high potential intellect. She's a single mother just trying to get by, and she works as a cleaning lady for the Los Angeles Police Department. And there's a case file that falls, and she's able to sort of see the missing piece, and who they thought was possibly the suspect is, in her mind, actually the victim.
Yes, sir.
And so they sort of realize they have this secret weapon under their roof, and they hire her to be a consultant for them to help solve murder cases week after week. And I play her ex, or her baby daddy, but her ex-partner, who looks after the kids while she's out making the world a better place.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's a great show.
You're basing your character on anyone in particular? Taran Killam.
It's stay-at-home dads. Yeah, mostly Tom Brady, I think. solid stay-at-home dads.
It's mostly Tom Brady. That one caught me. I didn't. didn't
If
see
I
that one
could
coming.
design every part of my life to be more like Tom Brady, I would.
You know what?
Right.
I'm with you.
What do you think? I mean, as in
Yes.
my opinion,
Yes, sir.
one of the greatest sports pundits, game callers, talking head personalities in all of sports history. How did he do?
Are you referring to me as that? Is
Yes,
that what
you.
Oh my gosh!
I'm giving that to you.
How did he do? Is that I think on occasion in the first quarter, first half, that he was definitely getting his broadcasting sea legs under him.
Yeah.
And it cannot be easy to do an endeavor where you're supposed to give an opinion.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be informative, if not occasionally humorous.
Yes.
And you got to do it in 15 seconds because you can't be talking with the next snap. And it seems easy and it looks easy and he knows it's not easy. And I'm sure he was very prepared. I know for a fact he was. The number of people whose brains he picked on this whole planet to set this thing up. But the bottom line, and so that you don't know that until you start doing it.
Right.
And the one thing that will separate him is the ability to be able to equate anything on the field to what he's done.
But who would have thought 15 years ago that there would be a moment in time where everyone would say, Tom Brady should call Mark Sanchez for advice?
That's just wrong. Come on, Taran.
Is it wrong?
That's just wrong.
You know, somewhere Mark Sanchez is walking around Southern California getting ready for his game on Fox, and he's just sort of like just sitting up straight wherever he is, or he's walking on the street and he's just like grabbing the back of his neck and he's wondering what's happening.
Did my stock just increase?
What happened?
Did
Or just like, did I just catch something? Like what? He's just like slapping the back of his neck. Look at his hand. Like, what is that?
Fox lot just walking around.
It's a fun Fox lot.
Fox lot. They've got a blue bottle coffee now.
Yeah.
You're eating a hot dog while
getting
he's
too inside
Yeah,
baseball,
nice.
and we know that Brockman hates talking about baseball right now because baseball isn't football.
Baseball's not football, and baseball's basically over. Let's move on.
Well, that's a Red Sox
locked
fan
into
over there.
football season.
That's a Red Sox fan.
locked
You're
into
funny though,
football season.
but it only take a matter of time till Brady just gets in the swing of it.
Yeah.
You imagine what the first time? What's the first time you ever did something?
Oh yeah, terrible.
For the first time.
I mean, I took
big.
a Friday elective course in high school on stand-up comedy, and it was
What?
awful. Yeah, I went to a really cool high school. I went to the Los Angeles High School of the Arts. LOXA is the acronym. And every Friday you could take like an elective in any kind of art, and that was actually the only time you did sports. So normally I took basketball on Fridays.
Yes.
And was pretty dominant, which isn't saying much at an arts high school. Then
So you were dominant for the LOXA basketball team?
yeah. The LOXA elective 45-minute Friday class. I was the LeBron James. LOXA's let me get it right. LOXA's Friday quarterly 45-minute elective class.
Wow.
Yeah.
Fame.
And then I
Okay.
did stand-up comedy
then
and,
you-
was not as good at it.
And you were not. So imagine,
No, of course.
45 million people seeing that.
Yeah, tough.
I wouldn't want
Tricky.
45 million people seeing the first broadcast I ever did.
Yeah.
You
But
know,
that's what
in
YouTube's
Redding,
for.
California. But that's what he signed up for. And
Yes.
he'll be fine.
He loves football.
It'll be just
I
fine.
would imagine he's doing Saints Cowboys. I imagine he's much better this week.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I mean, that Tom Brady knows how to improve at things. I will say that. 50th year of Saturday Night Live.
It's coming up.
Is there any sort of reunion?
There
something
is.
going
I don't
on,
know
or
what's
what?
out there, but there's a couple events that they're planning that happen at the early part of next year.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll be in New York around February, I think.
7 seasons you did there?
I did 6.
6 seasons.
Yes.
All right.
The
So I gave you one more.
was-
I gave you the extra
I'll
point.
Take it. I wish they would have. No.
Who was
It's
there
all
when
good.
Who was there when you first arrived?
When
there?
I first got there, I don't know if you're listening to the Seth Meyers and Lonely Island podcast, but if you're not and you enjoy SNL,
Yes.
it is a great listen. And they're breaking down all of their digital shorts chronologically.
Okay.
And as Seth likes to say, theirs was an golden era of SNL, and I do agree with him. So I came in at the tail end of that golden era, and it was Seth, it was Fred Armisen, Jason Sudeikis, Andy Samberg, Kristen Wiig, Bill Hader, and then Bobby Moynihan was there, Abby Elliott.
So you walked in, and you're the newbie in this whole situation.
Yeah, it was me and Jay Farrow and Vanessa Bayer and Paul Britton were the new crop in 2010.
Jay Farrow was sitting in that very chair last month and just doing Jay Farrow things.
Did you do impressions?
He sure did. He's very good at them.
He's
and
maybe the best at them.
right off the top of his head
Yes.
as well.
He is the level of impression where if you close your eyes, it might be the person.
Yeah, you can't
Yeah.
tell for
Yeah.
sure. Which is your favorite character that you portrayed or skit
gosh.
that you were in? If you could choose one.
Oh man, I mean, there's many for many different reasons. The first sketch I ever got on that I was a co-writer on were these sketches that we just called French Dance, which were these sort of absurdist, silly physical comedy pieces.
Yes.
And the first one we got on was with Emma Stone, and we did that 5 or 6 times, I think. Maybe the most meaningful sketch was also in my first season with Jim Carrey hosting, because he's my hero. He's number one for me. And we did a sketch called The Maryville Brothers, where we were sort of possessed animatronics on a carnival ride, which is really fun because I'm a big Disney fan anyway, too. But at dress rehearsal, one of the most special moments was like, I'm a newbie, like you said, and
Yeah.
I'm part of this really impressive cast, and I got this sketch on, and my hero's next to me, and Bill Hader's to the right of me, and we do this animatronic thing, and it's sort of done, and we come up and down several times, but after the first one, we ducked down behind this plywood wall, and we got an applause break. And that felt great because I had not really achieved that yet. But also, like, to get an applause break on your dream job and look to your left and see your hero go like, "It's awesome, man. Way to go!" It was like
You got the
it's
mannerisms.
best feeling possible. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
It was cool. That
Because
was
I was
fun.
going to ask you which host were you most excited to have met, and now
Yeah.
that's your answer right there.
Jim Carrey with a bullet. And speaking of anniversaries,
Yes.
the 40th, I was in a sketch with him there. I got to be a small part in the Family Feud. They brought that back with Will and Daryl and Norm as Burt Reynolds. It was surreal. That whole week was surreal. I did the Family Feud sketch, and I did the Californian sketch too, which had like Betty White and Bradley Cooper and Taylor Swift in it. It was just surreal moment after surreal moment.
Yeah, Ferguson.
Turd Ferguson. Yeah, it's funny.
Him with
It's not my name.
Him just chewing gum
It's the best.
like Burt Reynolds.
Yes.
Like that what a great sort of way to send up,
Yeah.
the late Burt Reynolds by having just the gum chew and the way
Yeah.
he would chew gum and just
Gum
try
and
to
gumption.
right. And then
Yeah.
the Californians is an incredible.
Big hat. It's funny.
I remember
Yeah.
that too.
No, it was crazy. And Jim Carrey played McConaughey in the Family Feud. And like you wouldn't notice if you watch it, but there's like a little stumble that he does live in the live special. And so it's me and Jay Farrow talking to him backstage.
Yeah.
And he's like, I sort of tripped up. And we're like, dude, you're great. Nobody's even going to notice. And he's like, yeah, you wish you could get it back, But it's the beauty of live television. And like, it was great. And it was this vulnerable moment of him, like, kind of like beating himself up slightly. And I just seized that opportunity to go like, look, I try to play it cool, but you are my guy. And I saw every movie, and I'd show up at, recess the next day quoting every line. And to get to be here with you is so special to me. He's like, I know exactly how you feel. I look down that hallway and I go, that's Bill effing Murray. And I was like, this is the coolest. And then he gave Jay and I a ride in his car to the after party of the Plaza. It was like one of the greatest nights ever,
awesome.
which I showed up to because after I was done with my 2 sketches, started drinking immediately. So by the time I got to the Plaza, I was pretty tipsy, and I walk in and my wife's meeting me there because there were no like +1s of spouses for the current cast at that point. So I'm waiting for her to show up. I walk into this Plaza. It's everybody famous ever.
Yeah.
And I go straight up to the bar and I see Win Butler of Arcade Fire talking to Rihanna. And Rihanna is like big time crush for me. So I go up and I go, well, how are you, buddy? Hello, Ms. Rihanna. What a show. Can you believe this? And they're like, yeah, it's great. It's really fun to watch. And how are you doing? I'm, well, the show's on. I had a couple drinks, just waiting for the wife to show up. Sorry, Rihanna, missed your chance. And she grabs my shirt and she goes, you're stupid. I was like, yes, ma'am. Yes.
Wow.
I am forever stupid.
What a night.
It was a good night. It was a great night.
You're stupid.
I'm stupid.
Hey, get that on
By
a shirt.
Rihanna.
You know what?
Stupid. I'd love to see that perfume commercial.
exactly.
You know what I mean? Of her just like pulling on me and like poking me and stuff. And then she
sounds like
goes, you're stupid. By
sounds,
Rihanna.
That sounds like a digital short.
Yeah, it should be. It should be.
Oh my God.
Too funny.
And where did before I let you go, Jebadiah Atkinson come from?
Yeah, that was a gift. That was like gifted to me by the Weekend Update crew. Seth, I remember it was one of those pre-tapes. I was in a digital short or a pre-tape the night before that got me home at like 6:30 a.m. And I wake up at 12 to a text of Seth going like, there's this funny idea we have for you. Come by Update on Saturday. Mm-hmm. And so I go up there to the writer's room on 9 and we just read through it. It's really funny because the actual story is that a newspaper finally, whatever it is, almost 300 years later, retracts a negative review of the Gettysburg Address, one of the most beloved political speeches in history,
And
in American history.
This is a real moment.
That actually was a moment. And so they said, we're going to have you play the guy who wrote the bad speech. And it was just the guy who is historically wrong about every beloved thing in arts and culture of all time. And was so fun to perform.
So like the worst critic in the history of critics.
Yeah,
To
exactly.
the point where a publication in the 21st century felt the need to issue a retraction of the bad review of the Gettysburg
In the
Address.
subjectivity of criticism, this is the guy who is objectively wrong every time and is so angry about it.
What are some of the things that they made you wrong about?
I remember there was, we did like Christmas specials, and he hated a Charlie Brown Christmas. It's like, hey, Charlie, you've got a pube on your forehead. Next!
While you're dressed in 1860s
like basically,
garb.
1860s velvet garb.
That's
fun.
I mean, it's so cool that they thought of you. They like, hey, we got a character.
Those are, that is, you hope for that opportunity because it's on you to come up with something good every week. And so when someone goes like, hey, I think I have something for you, and it connects, it's a great gift.
And everything connects in life, Taran Killam. I don't think you would have gotten that if it weren't for the Loxa elective.
That's exactly right.
You had no idea you were prepping.
Yeah,
you had no idea.
They could sense my setup and punchline abilities.
And to hell with all the banners they could have hung.
Yeah.
If you had stuck to basketball. Just think about it.
Only student able to make a layup banner hanging in the Loxa Gymnasium.
Just the Polaroid of the banner raise at the Loxa Gym. It just got fuzzier and fuzzier with each elective for stand-up
We could get Josh Groban to sing the national anthem. Loxa alum.
Is that right?
Yeah. Alum. He was my buddy. He graduated a year before me. He's 99.
What's his hoops game like? Were you
we
a
never
two-man
hooped,
game?
but
You and Groban were a two-man game?
Groban's very funny. Groban, I don't remember if Groban took the stand-up class, but he's very funny. But yeah, the sonic wave of Josh Groban boxing you out is an advantage that you don't think you could have on a basketball court.
Write that down, Chris. There's got to be a fantasy team name in there.
Hold on. Sonic Wave.
Josh Groban, Sonic Wave.
Yes, Josh Groban, Sonic Wave is a
Groban's
possible
box out.
fantasy team name. High High Potential premieres next Tuesday, 10 p.m. Eastern on ABC, and it's available on Hulu the next day right here on Roku. Good to see you, sir.
It's always a pleasure. Thank you for
Anytime,
having me.
always good laughs. Taran Killam, follow him at Taran Killam on X, and Tarzan Knows. Is that what it is?
Tarzan No Z. So
Nosy.
people go, what's your name? I go, Taran. They go, Aaron. I go, no, Taran with a T. How do you spell that? It's Tarzan No Z.
There you go. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.